everybody, it's Zil. Today I'm going to show you how to solve an expression with generic rectangles. So the problem we'll be looking at today is 2m plus 1 squared. So basically this problem is just 2m plus 1 times 2m plus 1. So to solve this, we're going to be using a generic rectangle that looks like this. And we're going to be setting it up so we can multiply everything to get our answer. So you want to put 2m and then plus 1 on the bottom of the rectangle. And if you flip it over, and then you can just do the same thing and put 2m plus 1. So to make this a little bit more easier, I like to fill out the whole rectangle so you don't get confused. So I just put 2m plus 1 on all of the sides. So then right here you see that if you multiply 2m and 2m, you get 4m squared. So I got this because I broke the problem in half and did 2 times 2, which is just 4, and m times m, which is m squared. So if you look at the top top left corner, you see that you have 2m times 1. So that's basically just 2m. And then you have 1 times 1, which is just 1. And you have 2m times 1 again, which is just 2m. So now that you've solved the rectangle corners, now you can just put everything together. So the way you put this together is you put you have a specific order, which goes the squareds first, in this case, which is just m squared. And then you want to put just your variables, like alphabetically. So if you had x, y, then you put x first and then y, and then just your single numbers. So we just have 1 squared, so we would just put 4m on the side, and we have 2m, so we just add them up together. So we do plus 4m, and we just have 1, so we just add 1. So altogether, the answer looks like this: 4m squared plus 4m plus 1. So that's your final answer there. And the next problem we'll be looking at is simply x minus 3 squared. This problem is a little bit more trickier because there's a negative in this, but you can solve it just the same way as the other one. So this, again, is just x minus 3 times x minus 3. So to solve this, you're going to be setting up another rectangle that looks like this. And so there's 2 of them. So if we were to have x minus 3, x plus 3, then you'd make a 2 by 3 rectangle. So we just have 2 of them, so this is a 2 by 2. So we want to set this up just simply as the other one, x minus 3, because this is a negative, and then x minus 3. So we just want to put that on all of the edges on the rectangle to make this a little bit easier so you don't get confused. So then if you look at the bottom left rectangle, you see that you have 2 x's. So if you multiply that, you get x squared. And on the top of that, you see negative 3 and x. So that's simply just negative 3x. And on the other side, on the right side, on the top right corner, you see that we have a negative 3 and a negative 3. So always when you multiply a negative times a negative, you get a positive. So you'd get 9. And then on the bottom again, you get negative 3x. So again, you want to set it up with the squareds, the variables, and then just the numbers. So you have 1 x squared, and you have 2 negative 3x's. So negative 3 minus 3 is just simply negative 6x, and then you have a 9. So you have x squared minus 6x plus 9. So that's your final answer, and that's how you solve an expression using a generic rectangle.